Welcome to Who Would Have Known, everybody, and today we're going to talk about biometric surveillance. I want to give a shout out to Matt Kim over there at Free Matt Kim, because if it wasn't for him finding this patent from Microsoft, then I wouldn't have been able to correlate all of this together. So because of him, I want to give him a shout out and give him credit for that. You will see him in the clip here in just a little bit talking about the Microsoft patent for ID 2020, that is 060606. And what it is a cryptocurrency system using body activity data. But I'll let him take you through the details, and then afterwards I'm going to tell you a little bit about Project Stargate and what it is and how they all correlate together.
Have you heard of Microsoft's global patent number 060606? 2016, Microsoft partnered with the Gavi Vaccine Alliance, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, WHO, UNICEF, World Bank, WF, and the UN to start the global initiative ID 2020. The goal? To create digital ID for everyone, with the plans to link biometric data to verify identity, a global database to monitor all humans. Think of the implications with CBDCs, vaccine passports, social credit-like systems. But how would they monitor every person? This is where Microsoft's patent comes into play. WO-2020-060606. Patent for a system where human body activates brainwaves, body heat, movement, etc., is used to mine cryptocurrency. It uses body activity as proof of work instead of traditional mining that requires massive computer power. The system would reward users with cryptocurrency when their body data meets certain conditions. If you tie ID 2020 and 060606 together, the combination could be used to track and control access to money, services, and even movement. Become a social credit system where access to cryptocurrency depends on behavior and compliance. Add in a layer of AI and automation, AI would determine who gets rewarded and who doesn't, based on your body's responses. Imagine being forced to comply to something and produce a certain brainwave condition before being able to buy or sell. Some may say, they can't do that, that's crazy, it only happens in movies. You're just trying to fear porn us. The patent number is literally 060606. I don't know what else to tell you.
This is biometric surveillance. Now, I've heard other people talk about biometric surveillance for many years, especially Yuval Noah Harari. And he has links with Obama, Fauci, Bill Gates, and many of the other so-called globalists who want to take over and control everything. Because they have all the money in the world. They just need control. But this is Yuval Noah Harari talking about this years ago.
COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. If we want to stop this epidemic, we need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin.
Because surveillance is being revolutionized, transformed from over the skin surveillance to under the skin surveillance. Until today, governments and corporations focus on monitoring what happens above the skin, where we go, who we meet, what we buy. Now, with this epidemic, they increasingly focus on what's happening inside our body. This can tell them whether we are sick or not, but it can also tell them how we feel, because feelings, just like diseases, are biological phenomena. Over-the-skin surveillance can tell the government that you are now watching this program. But if you wear a biometric bracelet that monitors what happens under the skin, the government can also know what you feel as you watch this. Do you believe me? Are you skeptical? Are you angry? Are you afraid? Under-the-skin surveillance can create the best healthcare system in history. A system that knows that you're ill even before you know it. But it can also create the worst totalitarian regime that ever existed. A regime
like the
that
James
knows
Bond
us
villains we
better
already have.
than we know ourselves.
The really big thing is hacking human beings. To hack human beings, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power.
Computing power. To hack humans, you need a lot of computing power. Well, guess what? Project Stargate down in Texas is going to have plenty of computing power to hack humans. The correlation.
Especially a lot of data. If you have enough data about me and enough computing power and biological knowledge, you can hack my body, my brain, my life. You can reach a point when you know me better than I know myself. And once you reach that point, and we are very close to that point, then democracy, the free market as we have, and actually all political systems, also authoritarian regimes, we have no idea what happens once you pass that point.
Okay, this next guy, his name is Larry Ellison. And Larry Ellison is a bad dude. So Larry Ellison is the Chief Technology Officer at Oracle. And he believes that AI can actually oversee everyone all the time, with all the cameras in the cars, all the cameras on the street poles, and all the police, other municipalities, if they all had cameras on their uniforms, or everything that they did could be surveyed by AI, because he thinks it'll be quicker at acknowledging things that are happening and quicker to respond and take over the entire 911 system, because AI would just see everything all the time and then implement whatever action needed, especially drones. He wants to start using drones as well. But Larry Ellison wants to use Project Stargate down in Texas to actually make individualized vaccines for everyone. Now, he's trying to tell everyone that it cures cancer, when everyone knows that mRNA actually causes cancer. And I've got a million other videos to prove that. So this Larry Ellison guy, he wants to use AI and Project Stargate to create each one a personalized vaccine. Now, every time something great for humanity happens, if it is possible for it to be weaponized, some James Bond villain will come along and weaponize it and use it against everyone else for money or power. More than likely power, because I think these guys have all the money that they could possibly want. Here's what Larry Ellison had to say.
One of the most exciting things we're working on, again, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is a cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out, I'll be quick, all of our cancers, cancer tumors, little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
So Larry Ellison thinks it's the promise of AI and the promise of the future. Now, we know that they basically just want to control everyone, and they have to use force to control people, and compliance, and usually fear. And if they can't use fear, they will use force. And who's willing to use force but good old BlackRock? How do we know? Because he said so. Here it is.
Behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors.
I don't have anything nice to say about those guys. All right, Project Stargate and its details. What is Project Stargate? So Project Stargate is this giant data center down in Texas, and they've got like $500 billion over that, right, invested in this thing. And what it is, it's going to house AI. And this AI is going to be able to take a blood sample from everyone and use that genetic sequence to look for anomalies. And if it finds anomalies, it'll make a very personalized vaccine to cure those anomalies. And with mRNA technology, it's 100% possible. And with CRISPR technology, Harvard came out with their own version of CRISPR-Cas9 a few years ago. But with that type of technology, they can actually rewrite people's genetic code. So you would hope that they would rewrite it to say, hey, your family will never have cancer again. Breast cancer, no more. Alzheimer's, no more. Horrible diseases that have been passed down through genetics, because they can cure all of them. These people won't control. And we know that Bill Gates and his dad was a depopulist, and they want to depopulize the world. Along with Dr. Fauci and Peter Hotez, they're all in the same boat. Don't get them twisted. They're all on the same team, and they're all funding each other. Now, who are their partners? ARM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Oracle, and OpenAI are the key initial technology partners. I personally think that Project Stargate should never be built at all. I would like to see people bring this information to our President Donald Trump, RFK, and his cabinet so they can look at the details, understand mRNA technology, and stop this project before it ever gets off the ground. If you've learned anything or you like this video, hit that like button and leave a comment. I appreciate everyone. Stay safe.